Hey guys, new review here for on the AKC Italian swinguard stiletto. I really like this knife. This is like one of my best knives I have for a collector's item, not really for EDC or anything, but I really like this knife. So, going with the detail of the handle. The handle is honey horn, and basically what honey horn is, it's horn from a bull. I was actually kind of wondering when I first heard of this knife. I wanted to buy it because I like the the characteristics of this horn on the knife. So, but I had no clue actually what honey horn was from. So I found out that it was actually came from a bull. They call it honey horn because of the honey blondish color, the honey brown color. As you can see, it does look really nice and brown. I like the characteristics of the white over here, the dark over here, and just almost like a brownish color. So, and it's real. It's all natural horn too. They just slabbed it on and pinned it down. Looks pretty good. All right, now. As you can see, this is a switchblade. It comes out like that, pretty fast too. It's not lightning fast, but it's pretty cool. You know, it comes out enough to lock up. It comes out fast enough to lock up, so it's pretty fast. Not lightning fast like a ProTech or anything, but this is, you know, the blade's a little thick, and the spring isn't that stout, but it does come out pretty fast. Now, a problem I have with this is, look at that. Look at this. See this, this is the guard. The guards are kind of loose. They're held together with a pin, so I don't think these things will be coming off. Actually, what happened is I actually set this on the table, and it slipped off, and it dropped. And it was open. I actually put this down because I store my knives open, and I wasn't really done with it yet, so I just set it down on the top of a book, and the book slid, and this actually fell off, and this thing was just loose ever since. I don't think it's going to fall off, but it's okay. This is a lockback. You're all pretty much familiar with lockbacks. You just press this little button down here, and it'll engage the locking system, and you can just close the blade back up. And the blade actually came fairly sharp. I'm not going to do a cut test because I really don't like to, doll this blade up. I never cut anything. I'd never use this as an everyday carry. It's definitely a collector's piece. Nothing for everyday carry, but you could if you wanted to. If you wanted a nice little, more of a, I guess more of like a stylish or the old school looking kind of knife for an everyday carry. It's not that sharp. This is actually 440C stainless. So it's probably not going to hold an edge very well, but I guess it's okay. I call this knife my custom because when it came, as you can see, these little rivets here, not this one, but this rivet back here, it had a rivet on it, and the blade came extremely loose. It was very wobbly and very, every time I shake it, you'd hear a really weird sound. And it would bug me, and it was just too loose. So I bought this off of Roadside Imports. So I asked the guy what went up, and he said, "Send it back to me, and I'll give you I'll put a torque pin, a torque screw in." So he did, and now it's very nice and very tight. I put some Loctite on this torque screw, very nice and tight. Now, the only problem is this thing right here is kind of loose. But I don't really play with this thing enough to have it break on me. But, it's a really nice knife. I always wanted a swing guard. This is actually one of my first swing guards. Actually, one of my first real Italian knives. This is handmade in Italy by AKC. AKC's actually stamped right there on the blade. See how look at that. Well, let's see how far that moves up. Yeah, not really good. Yeah, well, the guards are pretty much known being loose on these knives. So, this is 9 inches overall. As you can see, I'm holding it like this. No belt clip, so this wouldn't be easy carrying it in your pocket, but press the button, it comes straight up. the button has a nice press on it, not too hard, not too light. It comes up pretty fast. Now this has a bayonet style blade or stiletto style blade, so one half is sharpened and the other half would be sharpened, but this half is actually not really sharpened. It has grind, but it's not really physically sharp, so I'm not cutting myself or anything. This part is physically sharpened, so it will cut myself. I will cut myself if I, not too careful. Now let's see. These grips are on pretty sturdy. They're not rumming around or gonna fall off. These pins in here are placed in pretty nice. The safety is very nice and stiff, so it'll loosen up over time, but you don't want to lose safety on it, so I'll actually show you how the safety works. See, you can't fire it. Don't press so hard when the safety's on. Just remember this, the safety, when it's on the top, it's safe. When it's on the bottom, it's not. So, I could push it when it's on the bottom. So, but the safety's, really nice to get in there. Basically what the safety is a piece of metal. When you push it up, it stops this thing from going down and then releasing the blade. But you want to be careful with these knives because they're a complex mechanism and they have a leaf spring, which is the type of spring that you need that is actually being used. So leaf springs are they can break very easily. So what happens is when you buy this knife, you don't want to fire it. I'm going to quit firing it for now. But when you fire this knife so much and so hard, like you're closing it and then pressing the button, it comes out closing it. Like closing it, locking it up, pressing it. Then closing it again, locking it up, pressing it. Closing it again, locking up, pressing it. Basically what that's going to do is build up heat in the spring. The spring becomes softer. For example, you take clay. It's very stiff. But when you mush it up a lot, it's going to get warmer and warmer and easy to squish around. When you keep firing this spring builds up heat. It gets softer and softer and softer. So when you actually, the 10th time in the last 2 minutes that you were firing this, not the 10th time, but maybe the 20th time in the last 2 minutes that you're firing this, when you or the 20th time in 1 minute or something that you are firing this, when you close it, it might snap. Or if you're firing it all day, that's what you've been doing all day, firing this thing, and you're building up heat for the spring, and it becomes soft and soft and soft, then it'll, snap when you're closing it. So, just fire it at least maybe 4 times, then give it a break. So, and store this knife open, because if it's stored closed, you're putting too much pressure on that spring and it won't fire right. It'll just go if you put too much pressure on the spring, it'll probably open up like this. Like that, not go up all the way. So you want to just keep enough, keep it open while you're storing it. Maybe put it in in a drawer, in a box. Maybe put some plastic around it so it doesn't cut anything. But just put it in a box and keep it there so it won't, cut anything else, but make sure you store it open and don't use it as much. This costs $90 on roadsideimports.com. Definitely recommend them. So $90 is pretty good. So save up your money and buy one of these, because this is an excellent collector's piece. I'm kind of talking fast because I don't want my battery to run out, but excellent collector's piece for any kind of collector. Makes a good looking EDC, but I wouldn't use it as that because you'd probably be using it a lot more often, and which make it, it could break. So that was Nate's Blades, and I'll see you around. Oh, I wanted to point out, stainless steel, and these are brass, just in case. Just wanted to say that. Okay, see ya.